Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's now 1 o'clock and we are going to start this webinar. A way to work smarter in IFS is the theme, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you can, from a call center, do a handover to other business objects and do it in a more automated and simplified way. So my name is Niklas Ljungon. I work as a senior consultant, and together I have a colleague of me to help with moderation and to answer and take care of the questions that we are going to hopefully have at the end of this presentation or webinar. There is you can add the questions to the chat box in this presentation, and Sigmar will help me with them at the end of this presentation. So, automate your handover process in IFS CRM. The agenda for this webinar is to be a short update on elevation, and then we are going into the topics of this session, the call center, talk a little bit about the handover functionality and the basic data setup for this, and then I'm going to do a demonstration and hopefully we have a Q&A at the end. So let's start. Well, Elevation has the ambition, of course, to be the major consultant companies in the Scandinavian area, and we are constantly working to grow our market share and also our employees. We're now up to over 120 employees in Sweden, Norway, Finland, and in Sri Lanka. So that's cool. We are actually almost global now. Well, we established, of course, in 2008, and we have plus 150 customers as we speak. We have now actually opened a new office in Finland as well, so we are now 9 offices in total. And yeah, we're going quite well for us. So we have been a gold partner to IFS since 2010, and that means that we also don't just sell our own products, we are a partner in selling IFS as well to customers and consulting around that. And here are some major steps that you can see on the screen here. That, for example, in 2016 we merged with IFS Jönköping, so became a large player even in Sweden as well. And of course, we continue investing in employees and competence and in our own R&D. So please follow us in LinkedIn and of course on Facebook. You'll get the latest information and all the new functions or webinars that we are going to have in the future. Work smarter in IFS is the topic, and the background. Yeah, many users are, going about their daily business and doing what they are trained or what they're used to doing, and not utilizing all the functionality that actually are in the IFS system. So I'm going to show you something, hopefully, that you haven't seen before, and maybe this could be advantage to you. So you can automate your flow a little bit and minimize the manual work labor in CRM process. This, I'm going to show you this in IFS 10, but it also works from IFS 8 and forward. So hopefully it will cover all of your installations. So handover, what is a handover? Yeah, well, usually when you have a case, let's take a support error or a change request in a project or whatever you have. You need usually from the beginning you register a new case, or the customer register a new case in your portal, and from that you need to take manual steps to be able to go to the next step. It could be a customer order, it could be a service request, or yeah, as you see on the screen, a couple of options you have. And this you need to do manually usually, but you can do it or get the help from IFS to be able to do it. So that means that you will, with a small clicks, you can automate and create the next step automatically. So this is something I'm going to show you, and you can see that you can create, for example, a service request, a custom order, a work order, project activity, change request, or even a shop order, a purchase order. So I'm going to show you a few of these in the demonstration a little bit later. So I just put in this one so you can see where in the process it usually the handover is recited. So when you have a case and a task, and then you have the possibility to create the handover, as you can see in the middle here. So a little bit about the basic data you need to set up for this one to work. In the call center, in the basic data, you have one view that is support organization, and it has a lot of tabs on it, or a few tabs on it, and you need to set up so that you have, of course, an organization set up. You need to have queues, and you have to have the basic data for the support organization setup. But on the last tab in the support organization, you have a tab called Business Object, and this Business Object provides the basic setup for the different types of handovers that you would like to set up. So, for example, you set up a custom order or a custom agreement or purchase part or inventory part, or that's a couple of the examples that you have on the possibility to choose from. So, and this I'm going to show you a little bit inside IFS in a little bit. And you need also to set up the case task basic data. There is a tab there that you need to set up. So when you create a case, then it will point to the specific business object that you are going for in this case. And there are some automatic ways to do that as well with templates. So, well, the next step is actually going into IFS. So let's change the screen, go into IFS and go back a step. So we go to basic data, and here are the three possibilities you have when you go from call center into the basic data tab. And I'm going to start with the support organization basic data. And here you have some setups. You set up different organization. In this case, we have a support Europe and a support Asia. And you need to set up some queues as well. You can have support Europe and of course support Asia if that's what you need to do. And you have work groups, assignees, and so on. But I'm interested more in this tab. That is the basic setup for the handovers in this case. So you can see that I have set up some examples. I have a customer order handover. I have a return material authorization or MRA, and I have non-conformance report, and I have a change request and a project activity. So you can see in this tab that I actually have a handover, and I have a number here that's deciding which order they are coming in. When you take the list of value, you can see them in this order. And this is what you need to set up to be able to utilize the handover functionality. So, and the next step, I can just show you one more thing. So here is the list that you actually, the possible choices you have. So let's start from the beginning. You can have a sales part, you can have a custom order, custom agreement, return material authorization, purchase part, purchase order, inventory part, equipment object, linear asset, tool and equipment, work order, invoice, change request, shop order, project activity, service contract, and non-conformance report. So there are a lot of choices actually. So I think there will be something for you in this choice. So let's take, let's take a purchase order. So let's say that you have a request for something in a call center that you need to add a purchase order to. So this is a perfect example then from a call center to a purchase order. The purchase order will be created in the background automatically with a little bit of help from you, but basically automatically. And so that's the options. And I will go to the next step. So I will go back one and go to case, task, basic data. And on the activity, task activity, here you have some options. So this is what you need to do. You need to have the basic options of business objects, and then you need to create these task activities, because the handover is driven from the task, not the case. So you need to have a task connected to a case for this one to work. This I will show you in a bit. So you can see that I have an activity called investigation. I have one called sales. One is called change request, escalate, and so on. And they are therefore connected to the business object, change request, custom order, NCR, and so on. So this you need to have set up, and these are the options that are available to you. So let's go to case. Go back and go to, well, we can go like this and go back one step to call center, and then I will create a new case. So let's start with registering some information. Let's say you save. And I connect that to sales as a category. And I connect that to the customer that are requiring a new part or a new service. So I choose just one customer, Wasp Enterprise in this case. And then I save it. So what will happen now is that I need to add a task to this one as well. So because I told you earlier, the task is the driver, or needs to be, is actually the one that has the connection to the handover. So I can create a task, and I can choose in this activity from the list of value. And now you can see that I have these different choices that I told you about in the basic data. So here we have, let's say, a sales. That's fits me perfect. And I press OK. And I save that. And you who are familiar with the call center, you know that I now need to accept this case. So I am the owner of this case. So I accept the case and have an open focus on it. So it will be started. And I need to accept even the task. So this one I'm going to do. And now you can see we will have the call center. And of course, this is the process of accepting the task. But in the next view, you can see, or this little tab here, you can see that I now am creating a handover to custom order. So that means that the only thing I need to fill out is when do the customer expect it to be delivered, or hope for it to be delivered, let's say on Friday. And it will choose the default site. It will choose me as a coordinator, and the order type will be a normal order. And I can even add the sales part. So I can press a plus and then go for the list of values and choose the service part and the quantity, let's say 1. So, and you can see before I press OK, you can see open form. So this one, if I have this checked, it means that when I press OK, it will take me to the custom order that I created. So let's do that. Hopefully it will only take a second or two. You see something is happening in the background. It will then now take me to the custom order. And you can see that it's the same customer, of course. It's the same coordinator, that's me, on the same site, and so on. And you can see that the sales part is added to the row with one quantity, and the want to delivery date is set on Friday. So now we have a custom order that is actually connected to this task as well. So you can now see, if we go to the reference tab, you can see that it is connected to this case and to this task. So now we have away from going from this custom order back to the case, and from the case going to the custom order. You have a link between them. So everything is connected. You can follow up. If you do a follow-up on the sales that you do, you now have a way of seeing, okay, this sales comes from the call center. The customer reached out to us through a case and told us he would like to have some purchase from us. So this is great. And if we go, let's go back to a case and let's register a new example. So I will press the new button, new, and now let's see a new service or something like that. Let's try that one. Same thing again. I have to choose a customer. Oh, well, I already know the customer number, so I will punch it in manually. Use the same customer in this case, and then I need to do the save. In this case, I choose support as a category. So the same thing I need to do is press OK and a new line and choose an activity that I want. In this case, I would like to do an investigation. And the investigation will give me, hopefully, when I take an acceptance of this case and acceptance of this task. Okay, I will accept this task. What will happen now? Well, now it comes up as a new NCR assistant view will come up. So it means that I'm now creating a non-conformance report. A new error. And I can fill this out with the basic data for NCR. And a complete date for this, let's say, well, maybe not Saturday. We will take it on Friday. And I can do the next and do add some, basically I can add some photographs and so on to an NCR. And now I press OK. So now we have created actually a non-conformance report from a call center case. And if I go to the details, I can also see that in this case, the case ID is actually here and the task ID is here. So I have traceability from both ways, both from this one to back to the call center. And I will show you once again on the call center. If I update this, you can see that the handover reference is an NCR and the handover ID in this case is number 10. So I can go to view the handover reference. If I would like to go to NCR report, I can just do it by a simple click. And I have one more to show you. So I will create a new case. Let's see, new service again. Why not? I will go to, in this case, I will go to, let's say, CR, a change order, or a change request. And now you can see that I have actually a template. So if I click that one, you want to refresh the task according to the template. Well, yeah, why not? That means that if I have stored some information on the template, that information will be added to this case. So I will choose the same customer again. and I will save it. And I will take ownership of the case and go to the task. And now you can see that it has already created a task for me. So now I've used the template to automate even further. So I created a task line or a task automatically based on that template. So now I only need to take ownership of this task. And you can see the changeover is already going to a handover to a change request. So now I can choose the critical or the urgent in this case for the change order, and the CR type, component replacement, and I press OK. And now you can see that I've gone from a call center case directly to a change request and almost done it automatically. And you can see that the reference on the change request is back to the case ID. And just quickly, if we go back to the case again, you can see that we have actually some information about the change request and the change request ID here. So you can go from the case to the change request, and from the change request go to the call center case. So this is a little bit about how you can simplify and automate the flow of a call center to a sales process, or a call center case to a service request or a shop order, and so on. So it is a possible way, or a good way to take a little bit of the workload or what you have to do manually. In this case, the system will help you do this. And you can use, of course, a lot of templates. One template per service type. In this case, I have connected this to the change request in this case. But you can have templates connected to every category in this case if you liked. So this was what I intended to show you. Let's go back to the presentation. Well, do we have any questions, Sigrid, on this subject?
Yes, we do have a couple of questions for you, Niklas.
Okay.
First one is it possible to use templates to automate even further?
Yeah, I showed you a quick example of how to use templates, but you can actually utilize templates even more to fill out information in the notes, so that when you have a call center case, you will have automatically received a lot of questions that you need to answer, or that you as a call center employee needs to ask the customer, and so on. So you can fill out these templates with rather a lot of data to be able to get a more smoothly and a more streamlined automation process for the call center team. So you can, yeah, that's a good tip.
Okay, sounds great. And then another question here, can you build in functionality that notifies employees where there is a handover or when there is a handover that needs to be taken care of?
Yeah, there's, as you probably already know, you're experienced IFS user, but there are some standard functionality inside IFS, that you can get messages when something happens in IFS. And this is a perfect example. So let's say that you have a trigger or event that actually triggers a mail to the sales representative for that site or for that customer when a new custom order is created. So that is a perfect example, because usually in this example, I showed you that the call center employees are actually the ones that creates the custom order, but probably somewhere down the line, the salesperson needs to take charge of just the custom order part of it, and then you can have an event or a mail that goes to the sales representative's mail inbox that says, now there's been a call center that has been transformed to a custom order. You need to take a look at that. So yeah, that's possible.
Sounds very efficient.
Yep.
So that's it for the questions, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So how to get started? Well, I hope this is something that could interest you, of streamlining or taking a little bit off that manual workload, and a way for you to well, have a unified workload or a unified workway, so that the process are more streamlined. And of course, if you need the help to get started and to set this up, we are of course here to help you. So it's just to contact us on Adivation. You can contact me, or you can contact the Adivation through the website and through other channels, of course. Give me a call or send me an email, please. So, well, hopefully, if there isn't any more questions, and well, I am quite satisfied with what I have shown you, and so I will bid you actually a couple of minutes early. Then I will bid you thank you very much, and hope to see you soon again. We will have these webinars pretty much regularly, hopefully once a month, the whole year going forward. So
Yes.
please join us again.
Thank you so much, Niklas.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.